Welcome back to another edition of the Air Force Golf Show. I'm Dave Roberts.
Jay.
Hey, we're changing lives one swing at a time. We've got a great show today. We're going to do a recap of the U.S. Open and Rudy's thoughts about what's going on in New York.
I'm going to tear this place up.
I bet you will. So, folks, go ahead and pour yourself a cold one. We'll be right back. This is the Air Force Golf Show. Welcome back to the Air Force Golf Show. I'm Dave Roberts.
Rudy Jay.
Changing lives one swing at a time. The U.S. Open. Oh my gosh. Wyndham Clark, the winner.
Hey, man. He's not supposed to win. The golf gods aren't supposed to look out for him.
Well, after what he did at Congressional, yes, I would say that.
How's that supposed to happen?
Well, he played one really great round of golf, which was the second round, and shot phenomenally low at that point before the golf course got tough. Now, you got to realize that only 3 people broke par, okay, in the whole entire field of 156.
Now, you're a purist.
No, I'm not. I want to. I enjoyed watching them like you.
I'm okay. Hey, easy. Track that from the record. No, man, I'm all for tough, but I also don't want. Come on, man. That was bad.
After the
finals, those are the best players in the world, and they look like me.
But 12 out of the 18 holes played over par. And everybody's favorite hole, that 510-yard par 4, number 14.
Who does that? Who's sitting around and says, let's make this par 4? Well, the Masters has one as well, don't they?
Right, but that one goes downhill, so it really doesn't.
It doesn't play.
It goes around like this. That one was straight, always into the wind. It's 510 yards, which is normally a par 5 for everybody who plays normal golf, and they stretched it out. This thing played over 7,500 yards this last weekend, and again, with the greens being fast, being firm, the second. And
I thought they were going to be at a 10.5 stimp the whole weekend.
If you watched it on TV, you'll see that they showered the greens a lot because they were at the point where they were going to lose the greens. And you could start to see in Sunday, if you paid attention on TV, you see some of the greens turning a little purple. The oxygen was gone. They were about to lose those greens. And I guaranteed after that last group, they'd turn it on the sprinklers. They did not.
I know. When I saw it purple, I was like, dang. My TV's finally fading on me. You know, I've had the TV for forever. And I saw the green turn to purple. I was like, babe.
Oh, no, that's the oxygen.
Bad news. I think I need a new TV.
Oh, no, that's when you are about to lose your greens. And that they brought it to that. They want it to be, the United States Golf Association wants the ultimate test. And you got to realize, Rudy, that with this tournament, and the Open Championship, which is next. You have the PGA Championship, which next year's got Frisco. Right. And then you got Augusta. None of them are...
Where'd you say, Frisco?
Yeah, up in Frisco, Texas.
Really?
Yes, right here, Frisco, Texas.
Right by my sister's house.
Yes,
okay.
right down
right by Salina, Texas.
Yes, right there. That's where the PGA Championship's going to be next year. So those are not PGA Tour round events. They're run by 4 different entities.
Yes.
And the United States Golf Association thinks par is what you're supposed to shoot. And so they toughen up that golf course. And you see some of them guys, they were weed whacking. They looked like Stephen King's Children of the Corn. They were getting out there with the sickles.
They're allowed to get mad. They're allowed to get mad. They're the best in the world. They can get upset. I don't get upset, but I get it. But that was a little okay, 1 to 5, 5 being the best. Grade that course.
Architecture-wise, it's a 4.5. Condition-wise, to me, it was a 2.
Ooh, so not good.
No, I think that golf needs to be fair and equitable. And
what's fair? 15 under par?
No, but when you have only 30-yard fairways,
that's brutal.
That's 30 yards. That's 90 steps, folks, back and forth. And with the wind picking up, it was 25, 30 miles an hour in second, third round. You know, that 30-yard fairway is now looking like the street you drive on, and you're like, I'm trying to get in it.
With a car parked on the side. With a car parked on the street.
And there's guys that hit the middle of the fairway because if you notice this rolling terrain is more like a link-style golf course that some are rolling to the rough. They hit some good shots.
Now you want me to get mad?
And the guy had to stick the flag in the balls.
Now, that's when I get mad. When I'm like, this ball was here. Where's the dang squirrel that stole my ball? Where you hit a perfect shot and then it rolls into that, I don't even call that rough. That was a Children of the Corn. Malachi. I thought Malachi was going to come out and hand somebody their ball. You got to be old to get that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I disagree. The PGA has went that way as well. The last couple of years, they've toughened up the golf course like that. I like Augusta where you have to be accurate, but there's not a flat spot in the, not even the parking lot in the Masters. Everything is winding, so it makes that golf course. Plus, their greens are right around 13 on the step meter. And folks, to find out how fast that is, you have a board that you run at a 90-degree angle. You put a ball on the flattest part of the green. You let it roll, and how many feet that rolls, that's considered what the step meter is. So at the Augusta, it's about 13. Usually they do that 12, 13 at sometimes even 14 at the U.S. Open. They want the ultimate test. And if you looked at last year, if JJ Spahn didn't make that bomb on the last hole, nobody would have been under par. He was the only guy to make it under par. Brooks Koepka in 2018, when he won, it was +1 at the exact same golf course that they played this weekend, where they only had 11 holes over par. This time they had more holes over par. I mean, when your average par 4 is 4.53, that's
brutal.
And then you take a look at John Rahm, who was 2 under at one time, and then you turned the channel to go watch your favorite show come back, and he's now 8 over because he didn't hit a fairway.
Did you see him kick in his driver down the fairway? So do we love Wyndham Clark again?
No. You respect him.
You haven't forgiven him, Dave? He had a moment.
There's lines you don't cross.
He had a moment.
There's lines you don't cross.
I mean, come on. First of all, it was unacceptable. It was unacceptable, but the only thing I didn't like.
Okay, now if he trashed a local golf course, I would get it. Okay.
So you would be cool with him trashing one of the courses?
Then
you'd be cool with him doing that to Gateway Hills? No.
Then I'd ban him. But he got banned at Congressional. Congressional is like the number 3 golf course in the United States.
Right.
Okay. This is a maintenance budget of $7 million a year to keep that golf course open. And for you to go in, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Okay, fair.
Okay, that's how much that
fair.
To go in there and trash that place. Okay, because you got to remember, first of all, when someone opens their venue for you, they're spending a lot of money as well as the PGA Tour, U.S. Open, or Masters, or anybody.
Right.
Okay, and then yes, they're going to get money back through beverage sales,
everything,
all that other stuff. But as a PGA Tour professional, you have a certain respect because, just like all of our NBA stars and our Major League stars and our soccer stars, we hold them to a higher standard. Okay, if Jordan went in after losing a championship early in his career when Doug Collins was the coach, would you respect him as much if he went in there and tore the visitors' locker room when he lost to the Pistons?
I say go do it to your hotel room where you get the bill.
Oh, kind of like Bon Jovi. Okay, we go with that.
Yeah. Don't do it too. The only thing I didn't like about Wyndham is I hate when people say that isn't me. Well, it was that day, bro.
Well, it was that day. He's
that
one of the most disliked guys on tour. Okay, so that stigma is going to stay forever. Just like Sergio Garcia tearing up the greens overseas,
or spitting in a cup,
and doing all the other couple of things that he's done. So Sergio is going to be like that. Patrick Reed. You have your certain stigmas, and it's hard to get over those, especially in the public perception where everybody's keyboard warriors, and it's just going to go on.
What was that check he walked away with?
$4 million.
I'm all right.
Yeah, but then
all right. Y'all can be mad at me.
You can be mad.
I got 4 million reasons why y'all can be mad.
After taxes, caddies,
about 2. About 2.
Yeah,
about 2. Y'all
yeah, because they're 1099 employees. They're not employed.
Great point.
So they work on their own. But back to the U.S. Open, it is a test of the best, and that's what they want it to be. It always has been that way, and that's why it's rare air if someone wins it twice. I know everybody loves Scotty, and they were voting for him, and he was going up the leaderboard.
I've gotten to that point where I'm rooting for Scotty all the time.
Sam Burns had a chance. I mean, when Wyndham Clark started going backwards, because he was like 6, 7 under at one point, and then he goes back to 4 to win it by 1 over Sam Burns. Tom Kim comes out of nowhere, has a chance, couldn't make the putts fall at the end.
Well, who could?
All of a sudden, Scheffler's missing fairways.
Who wasn't?
I mean, well, yeah, 30 yards wide. What do you expect?
Right, who wasn't? Yeah.
So, I mean, it's very interesting. The downplay of all this was, or the downfall, I would say, not downplay, would be the fans.
Let's talk about it. I have thoughts.
Now, I'm going to give you a disclaimer, folks. My dad was born in Brooklyn, and he would never act like what had happened.
Well, yeah, I hate blanket. I don't like blanket statements, so I'm not going to blanket. There's 40 million people in New York.
All I can say is forget about it.
So you're going to have a few people that don't know how to act, but this is strike 3, New York. Okay?
Yes, it is.
Ryder Cup, unacceptable behavior. NBA Finals, you can't hit people in the head with eggs and beat up fans. And then you got what we saw at the US Open. That's 3 strikes. And 2 people can ruin something for a whole group of people.
Yes.
All it takes is a few knuckleheads to mess it up for everybody. But it's clear the sports people, not all of you, but the sports people in New York don't know how to act.
They don't. They're very
I know the Ryder Cup's rowdy.
Yes.
And it's and you got the music playing. It feels more like a live event. It was still way out of bounds what they did in 2025 at the Ryder Cup.
And it did cost the PGA president his honorary position, Don Ray. Because
why did he take? See what I'm saying? Why does he take the fall? Because people are drunk.
Like when Rory's wife got hit by a cup of beer. Okay,
but how is that his fault? I'm asking you a serious question.
When he answered the question, Don Ray is the average PGA president, average guy. Okay,
yeah.
He owns a place called Augusta Ranch that's in Arizona, top tracers, all that kind. That's the kind of professional he is. He's rose up the ranks. He's not one from a congressional. And so sometimes he spoke with us at the Golf Managers. He'd come talk to us for like a couple of hours, and he's that guy. He's that guy. He's like before Phil Mickelson went dark, he's the pros pro.
He's going to be him.
Right. And so he kind of said something kind of out of text about it. And, but he also mentioned, well, that's what happens when we go overseas. They're about just as rowdy. And they are, because I've lived in Italy when I went.
That's actually a good point.
Well, and it is, but that's not the party line.
So he was supposed to say, I don't condone that. It's unacceptable. Right. I want to apologize to Rory and his family.
And he did apologize. But that wasn't the first thing that came out, which should have come out. And
he's just a dude; he can't help it.
I mean, and he's caught up in the moment. So he's he's good. He's back in Arizona, and
yeah, man, that poor dude. Rory called some dude fat.
Yeah,
I was like, yo, Rory fat shaming out here. Because I don't blame. Rory looked at him and was like, I'm like, dog.
Right.
We calling people fat.
Well,
Rory called my guy fat. My guy didn't know what to say.
Right. Because these guys are brutal. And, if you take a look at what goes, okay, and it's kind of funny because you have rowdy crowds in golf and then you have fun rowdy crowds. And the
waste management,
number 16. They're fun. They're rowdy. The guy made a hole in one. They all threw beer cups. Everybody got all bent out of shape.
Who cleans all that up? How long
volunteers. The volunteers. They had to clean it up before they could play. And so that was kind of cool. The guy made a hole in one. I mean, that was totally awesome. You got a stadium crowd of about 25,000 around a hole. I mean,
when I went out there, it don't feel the same without the bleachers.
No, it doesn't. Just
it's like I was all excited, and I was like, "Oh, the bleachers!"
Just like the Valero Texas Open.
Yeah.
Ain't
the same.
A long time ago, my son Ty told Larson Seagerdahl, who runs the Valero Texas Open, he said, "You should go get like one of the sponsors of a donut shop because they got the big circle in the middle of the green on the par 3, and then whatever the sponsor, it could be the donut hole."
You're not supposed to say that out loud. You're supposed to take that to the people and get paid.
Well, he was the president of the company.
You're supposed to get paid for that. You just gave an idea away.
That was my son. He's unfiltered at 13. He thought it was the coolest thing.
It is a great idea
because he had just played one of his junior tour events out there, birdied the hole, thought it was really great, and he's like, we had him in the studio at our other show, and he's in there talking. He said, "Can I say something to you?" And he's like, "Yeah, son." And he told him, "You know what you ought to do." And he's like, "Here we go." So no, but the U.S. Open, I rated probably about 7 out of 10 for the coverage. Also, you and I.
So you didn't care for the coverage either.
No, you and I have been in this business for a long time, and when they start just going in different directions to fill time. I mean, if you're gonna have to fill time, let's do a feel good story of Gary Woodland and the young lady that happened at Phoenix. When,
Oh, yes.
Or one of our Air Force guys, Kyle Westmoreland, a little girl was selling lemonade on the side because she wanted to raise enough money to go to college and play golf, but she didn't even have the clubs. And he happened to go by and end up not Gary,
Scratched her check.
but wrote a check, and so did Callaway, gave her a brand new set of clubs and said, you know what, we're going to help you get to college.
Well, my daughter's going to UT. Let me get a lemonade stand.
Well, maybe she's going to see my son there. And
Maybe a lemonade stand. But being in this business though, Dave, you can admit we've been in those situations where, dead air is a no, never dead air. And we've been in those spots where we're scrambling. So did you sympathize with them because we've been there?
In a way, because where we worked and things that we've done, and I used to do some Friday night lights.
That's what I'm saying. So sometimes you scramble in the field.
I was prepared though with some
backup fodder.
You have to have that, especially because we're doing high schools, right? So you find a little bit about the high school and some stuff. So
when it's 50-0 and you're like, what are we going to
talk about? Then it's, and my old high school down in Corpus Carol, when they were good, but when they were bad, you had to find something to talk about.
Right. But you had backup. That's what you're saying. Just they weren't
right.
prepared.
In the same way when I was doing it up in Oklahoma, it was the exact same way. Well, these guys, they started straying off, and then it was like they were trying to create some content that was not even relevant to.
They weren't ready.
No, and with the production crew that goes on with a company like that, you would expect a lot more because you have all the staffers that are there.
I didn't know you were going to have hot take opinion on this thing. Because I thought I thought you just defend the brand no matter what.
I defend the PGA of America. I will die on the sword.
It don't matter.
Right?
Don't matter.
But the United States Golf Association rolling back the ball, which did not make a change.
At all.
Nothing.
At all.
They make crazy decisions. I used to have beryllium copper pings, right? And then they rolled it back to where you can't have square grooves. We spent it just as much as we did out of the rough that we did back then. But they just make decisions that are kind of quirky and wonky. And you're just like, guys, what are you thinking about?
Right.
Why don't you come out on the golf course and come play? Come play, not at your country club.
Put a jersey on.
Come
You remind me of Warren Sapp. Put a jersey on.
Why don't you come on over to Land Park? Why don't you come to Fort Sam? Why don't you come over to Willow Springs? Why don't you come to Randolph, Lackland?
Yeah.
Come play with us at normal munis. And then let's make a decision. You walk up Heart Attack Hill like y'all gonna find out in the scramble. Let's see if you're gonna be changing something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay, man.
Yeah, you're fine.
Well, I've been going to the gym. I want to look like you.
No, you don't. You want to look better than me.
No, I can't.
Yeah, you can.
No, man.
You'll be all right.
Look, dude, I'm Charlie Brown in the midlife crisis. I can't look like you. Come on.
If I let mine grow out, I'd be George Jefferson. So you good. If I let mine grow, I got to move. I got to.
Well, your golf game's moving on.
It is. So, U.S. Open gets a 7 from Dave. 7's not bad. A 7 is passing. I was a 7 student.
I get critical because
it's a major, and it's once a year.
It is.
Right.
When your cameraman loses the golf ball off the shot.
Oh, that drives me crazy.
Right.
Which is not an easy job, but you got the ability to hire the best.
You have the top tracers and all that other stuff, the technology out there. But like there was a couple times the guy would hit a drive, and then you've got your cameraman down there in the fairway unit, right? And they're up on scaffolds, and they can't even find where the ball goes. And the only reason they found it because you got all them 10,000 volunteers throwing flags in the ground, or a fan got hit and fallen on the side. And so, I mean, they got to do better. Now, I will say the Masters does a great job, and it's more contained because you have woods, okay?
It's the Masters, though.
The Ryder Cup, because it's more contained. We'll give them that. TPC at Sawgrass, same thing with the Players' Championship, which should be the 5th major. That golf course I played, my gosh, that is a tough golf course. You think it'll never end. And you want to ever want a heartbeat? You go to 17. And you go play it because that green is not as big as you think. I'll show you pictures after the show. It is not that big. I got up there and, I've done a lot of things in the military and I've played golf at some high levels, but I got over 17 and I felt like a baby boy. I was like, oh my gosh, this better be the best pitching wedge I hit in my life.
Oh, wow.
Once it landed, it was like, oh yeah.
That's fine.
So imagine that with about 20,000 people.
Yeah, or a couple million on the line.
Yeah,
A couple million on the line. Yeah,
we only had a little bit of dollars on the line, but I think that we go back and look at this U.S. Open as spectators and say they could do better. But the USGA, I got a report this morning that they were totally satisfied, and they're going to keep staying that. Okay.
Now, 20 years from now, are we talking about this U.S. Open? That's my barometer for what's a major. The ones that we look back on 10 years, 15 years down the line, and we're like, oh yeah, such.
There's only 2 U.S. Opens I will talk
obviously
about.
Tiger.
Tiger's run away at Pebble Beach.
Obviously.
And the same thing had happened at Pebble Beach when Tom Kite outdid Andy Dillard.
So the answer
Tom
is
Kite.
So you're not going to remember this one 10 years from now?
No, I remember what went on in New York because it was crazy. But as for the golf, there was nothing exciting there. No. I mean, even his second round, I mean, because the wind laid low and a lot of people were making runs. But if you notice, there was 12 people under par, and then it ended up with 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got worse after that.
And then the broadcast,
so
everything went down.
To me, it was just another U.S. Open. I remember in the PGA Championship, was it Scotty Scheffler? No, it was Dustin Johnson, who I remember the part where he grounded his club in the bunker, and all those people have been walking in it. I remember that.
My heart broke for Dustin.
But the green,
seeing him, he was erasing his scorecard.
Yeah, well, the green sheet, which is a sheet they give you out with local rules, he failed to read it, and so that was that was actually.
How about you don't let the fans trample in the bunker?
That was.
How about that?
That was a bad thing. That was a bad thing. But there are majors that you will remember. Okay, but this one, it was there.
You didn't like it. I'm shocked. I come driving here today. I was like, oh man, we talking open. Dave's going to be hype.
No,
you coming here throwing eggs. You know better than the New York fans. You throwing eggs at the U.S. Open? Well, shouting obscenities?
I can. My number 03614544. I can.
Actually, I've never heard you curse, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going
to get you to curse. Not on this show.
No, you just go play some more golf with me and you'll. Okay. But again, I look at things a lot different, especially older now, because when I was aspiring to get out there, I was just glad for the chance. Yeah. Now I take a look back and reflect and go, okay, not only as a broadcaster, but as a spectator, what do I want to see? Okay. Just like when we do our shows here, where you go and do the scramble, folks, and you wait till you see that. That is an awesome show. When we go and release that, it's what you want to see, but we're having fun doing it. That was not fun. That over 5 Tylenol days for every player out there. They went away with headaches. I guarantee they're popping Vicodins and all them other things.
But you have the Misery Loves Company group that love that. Well, like you have millions of people, millions of golf fans that can't wait to see the pros struggle, because that's what we do every week. And, it's like, okay, I finally get to see these guys go through what I go through each and every Sunday. So that's why it works, because you have a million people tuned in for that.
It was over 76 for the week.
There's a couple million golf fans that love that.
What would Rudy Jay shoot on that golf course?
140, 150. I said that with a straight face.
You know what? We'll give you the 10-stroke rule.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm picking up at double par. I'm picking up at double par. Double par, man. I'll meet y'all at the next hole. A matter of fact, this comes the cart.
If not, you'll still be on 14, par 4.
But I would probably play 4 in, so who knows?
Sam, that's what I ask people. And I wouldn't expect you to play from the back, because, I mean.
Who does? I don't play from the back.
7,400 yards is pretty unreal, but.
And you're walking.
I'm now looking for the Open Championship, because then that gives.
Where is it this year?
I think it's in Ireland this year.
Okay.
I just know that, again, this is a shot, and I think you have like Shane Lowry, you have Rory McIlroy, you have Justin Rose, which I hope he'd hurry up and win a major. Those guys, it's almost like home court advantage.
They're at home, yeah.
But what plays over there, it's not that the course is a bunch of gunch, but the wind, gunch, that's the high grass and all that junk. They have rain. They have link style golf. We are target golf. We are hit it to this part of the fairway, hit it on the green. Over there, it's rolling.
You got to have stinger. You got to have a stinger in your bag.
You got to have
because of the wind too, not just the rain. Sometimes that wind is going.
Well, when Tiger won, he was hitting 1-irons off the tee box and just.
They even make that anymore?
Yeah, they do. But they call them 4-irons, but they deloft them and all that. They call them driving irons. And like Tony Finau. We were trying to get one.
Love Tony.
We were trying to get one for Ty in that model, and they said, we're sorry, because I called up the company. They said, Tony Finau bought the last 15. Well, he can afford the last 15. I can't. I just wanted one. Can you save one?
Why does he buy 15?
Because Ty loves the driving iron.
Okay.
He loves hitting iron.
Who is Ty?
Ty is my son.
Okay.
He just graduated out of Alabama State, going to go to UT to get his master's. He won 128 junior golf tournaments. Yes, right. That's right. That was my Father's Day present, was a UT shirt with Snoopy and a golf club. So, yeah.
Gave him all that game, and he gives you a T-shirt.
That's okay. I'll forever be his ATM, but I'm blessed because you know what? He is my favorite scramble partner. He's going to go to UT under my military act. It's called the Hazelwood Act because I'm a Texas veteran. He's going to get his couple years to get his master's, and then we're going to try for the PGA Tour.
We're not going to try. We're going to make it. You got to say words matter. Words matter, Dave. You got to say we're going to make it.
The day that I started, you went to go play in the qualifying tournament for 50 spots to get on tour. Next 25 were conditional.
What down to what?
Now you're getting like 25 spots to go on to the Corn Ferry Tour, which is the second tour, which was the Ben Hogan Tour, as I know it, was the second tour. Okay, and then the buy.com and all the rest of them. You have to go through that process now, unless you do a Monday qualifier or get a sponsor's exemption. So what Ty would be qualifying is trying to get onto the Corn Ferry Tour. They do a battlefield promotion if you win 3 tournaments or plus the top 25 automatically. After that, get their cards the next year to the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
That's how Kyle Westmoreland from the Air Force Academy, he got on tour.
That's right.
He played the Corn Ferry. He got in the top 20. Matter of fact, he was number 25. And that's how he got his card on the PGA Tour.
From the academy.
He went from the academy to 1 year on the Corn Ferry Tour. Top 25.
That's a golf clap.
Yes, it is.
And since we're talking about it, U.S. Open was Father's Day weekend. We're getting it's Father's Day ain't nothing like Mother's Day. We cooking. We getting T-shirts.
Okay. Anyway, I was prepared.
I'm sorry.
You're talking about all that.
I'm just like Father's Day, man. It ain't the same as Mother's Day. Mother's Day, it's red carpet. It's cameras.
It's the second most celebrated holiday of the year.
Yeah, we get
behind Christmas.
We get fajitas and a Coors Light. They getting champagne and dresses and jewelry.
That's why it's the 9th rated holiday in the United States. Right? 9th.
We're behind Halloween.
No, we're behind. You know it's number 8?
What?
Arbor Day. You know what Arbor Day is? It's about trees.
You know what?
We're behind the trees.
On that note, sorry, fathers. I'm sorry. We behind the trees.
You know what fathers is? It's a long word for ATM in the golf business. Because, I'm my son's ATM to show you. He said that. He won the 2019 PGA Junior Player of the Year. And he goes, I want my dad doing all this. I want to thank my mom. I want to thank all these people because I want to really thank my dad because you know what? Not only is my golf coach, he's my ATM. And all my fellow professionals were in that room just going, yeah, I know.
You never get.
No, they go, yeah, I know. We feel that. We feel that. But you know what? We're making golf affordable now, and that's really great.
Are we?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not talking about what the programs that y'all have curated in the Air Force, but are we sure golf is affordable?
Yes. There are places.
I'm pushed back a little bit on that. I'm putting Air Force aside because to me, since we've had the boom since COVID, I feel like these golf courses are like, they coming in.
Right. So dynamic pricing, right?
Yeah,
is what it's called.
Yeah, we getting taxed.
You have a local facility that just opened back up in Seguin. And if you took a look at the green fees and carts, you go, oh my gosh. If you're over in Galveston, you take a look at, they have at Moody Gardens. Look at their green fee and cart. No, when you look at some of the city golf courses, okay, not ours, but some of the outlying city, Leander, some of the other places, you're not going to find that.
Okay.
You're going to find some stability.
Well, in my town, San Antonio, I feel like a few of these places are I don't
Some
know.
of them,
I'm again,
and they're pricing themselves out. And what always happens is like a real estate. It's going to go up and then it's going to have to come back down because the supply and demand. And, well, we have 2.1 million people in the surrounding area, and you got 15% of them are some type of a golf nut, whether it's top golf course, military golf, you're like, okay, well, I've got, a couple 100,000 people here that can, fill a slot. But you go and look for the bargains. And the good thing about like with us in the military, we have the way you can, get a pass to get on. You call your local military golf course and you say, hey, can you sponsor, or you have somebody like me or an active duty
I was able
sponsor?
I got like a 2-3 month pass.
Right. And you can get a pass, and that means you can now go play all 3 JBSA courses. Okay. Shaw Air Force Base, they have what they call the Freedom Pass.
South Carolina.
South Carolina, MacDill Air Force Base, where we were at. Okay. Terry, who's the admin assistant, every single day. She's so wonderful. Yeah, she never misses a fairway. Well, she has a spreadsheet, and all the calls and emails comes in, and every 2 days she sends it to security forces, and 3 days later they can pick up their pass after they're vetted.
Love it.
And so we have that pass. Our downfall is we can't promote a lot of stuff to the public because of our regulations.
That makes sense.
But civilians can play. They can get sponsored on. And when you get sponsored on to come to the golf course, that's the only place you go. Don't go to the gas station. Don't go to the commissary because you're not going to be welcome. They're going to ask your ID when it's golf only. That's where you're going to be. So you don't want to go to anywhere else.
To the golf course and home.
Just golf course and home, because that's what your pass is for. Because we do have a lot of military things going on. And, just go to the golf course.
Yeah.
Just go play your 18 holes, 9 holes, rock on, and, sit at the snack bar afterward and tell them what putt you missed and what putt you made, and everything is good, and rewind. And so you take a look at this, and this is what I tell people about the military golf courses here in the state of Texas. Okay. We're already saving you 8.25% because you're not paying any tax, whether it's the green fee or the cart. Okay. Then we're already restricted by where we have to price based on what's going on local and then stay a certain percentage. Okay. So we are the best value.
By far.
Okay. When I did that thing the other day for Robert, you're taking a look at some of the specials that they have. When they're running him. And I will say hats off to Robert Vasquez over at Gateway Hills at Lackland.
That course is in great shape.
It's in phenomenal.
And I'm not just saying that.
It's in phenomenal shape from where it used to be.
I just played out there.
The vibe there is exciting. They got people who love the course. Your cart staff love the course. You're out there. You can tell when you check in. And then all of a sudden, like, when football seasons come, he'll run it again. He'll have Jersey Fridays where you wear your favorite jersey, and then you're going to get like a twilight fee all day. So he'll do those promotions. Those are promotions that we are trying to get around the world. So say, hey, look, guys, and some great people have designed these golf courses.
Yeah.
You got some Dye courses, you have Donald Ross golf courses, and you can look up all these architects. They are famous architects that have done that. We have a few from the Texas Golf Hall of Fame that have done some of our golf courses, and you're playing on quality layouts. They're not, chopped beef. They're not like you got 18 runways. If you go out to Randolph, Lackland, even at Fort Sam, Alders McKenzie, the original 18 are there, but it's one on one side, one on it's modified.
Loma and
Salado. So they put 1.9 and 1.9 there, but he did that, and that's when the Texas Open was out there, because Fort Sam is the only golf course to ever hold a PGA Tour event. And so then they added on, which we call the outer course, is the one where, you go up against the cemetery. And then you've got the Salado Creek course, which is the inside where it goes out but doesn't come back in. So you better make sure you got your beverages and stuff like that. Yeah, because you're going out, but you're not coming back in until you get to 18. So, but all the holes are interesting. Left, right, left, up, down, all around. They have some that have the greens that are popped up. And people are like, oh, those are strange. Well, that's old time greens. That's the way it's not what you see. And I'm not knocking any of the TPCs or any of that.
No.
But that's a different type of a game. And they're built for a certain way. And most of them are built for spectators. because we're the thought behind the TPC was to have, when they have the events there, that spectators were able to see. So you see that up and down and mounding all around, and places where you could put the stands and walkways and stuff like that. So, but again, you take a look at the US Open. We'll go right quick back there. Was that very spectator friendly?
Not at all. Not at all. You gave it a 7. I give it a 6.5, a little lower.
I mean, I like watching people walk down the fairways. You couldn't. You don't get lost in the trees in the wood. Or they had no trees. They had high guns. So there's a couple trees out there, but nothing more. I mean, there was nothing. So, I mean, it was more around the green, the tee box. But, seeing that guy hit that shot a couple of years back, I was at the Masters, and I happened to be right next to Chad Campbell, and one of the shots was for him to hit that shot. And he's like, from here just to the wall. You're that close. That's exciting at being on the golf course.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, when you only going to see it on the green, and that's the worst thing about television golf right now. And I'll give it to you is, dude, I don't want to see you tap it in. I want to see some shots. I want to see some tee shots. I want to see some shots coming in. I want to see some trick shots. I want them flopping it out of the bunker. That's what I want to see.
Entertain me.
Dude, I don't want to see
entertain me.
If I want to see 2-foot putts, I'll go to my local military golf course and I'll go practice. Okay, that's what I'll see, because that's about as far as I can make a putt.
You had to lag everything.
I had to lag. Yeah, I'm lagging. I didn't even get to putt in Florida. All you guys. And for the record, folks, Rudy Jay made putts. Okay, I'm putting this out.
1 or 2.
He made some putts while we were in Florida. He made the putts, so I didn't even have to putt.
Yeah.
And I had a brand new putter. I wanted to use it. I couldn't even use it. So he made the putts. Kevin made the putts. David made the putts, and I was a spectator. So, just on the green. But I know you got some guys out there that's probably going to give you some stuff, folks. He made some putts. And when we played R9, we played an emergency 9, Rudy and I, we did a little on-course instruction. He played very well, and you better watch out. He's going to be in the lower 80s. He's going to be in the lower 80s in no time, and in the 70s, probably about this time next year.
You heard it here first.
Oh, yes, folks. Well, folks, that's been about the fastest 30 minutes in golf. It always goes quick.
It does. Having a good time. Time flies.
Oh, it does. And I'm glad that you gave it less than I did, because that shows that I was right. For a change. I was just, it was there. That's it. It was just there. It wasn't
there.
I mean, there was no electricity. And it wasn't just because Wyndham Clark, who's boring as a 2x4, was in, it wasn't that. It's just, it wasn't exciting. It just, there was no, no
there.
And the only thing that was exciting was the arrogant spectators that were getting arrested and getting put out in the handcuffs. I was like, hey, something exciting's happening. So,
the people getting arrested was the most exciting.
That was the most exciting part of the golf. Sure. So, well, folks, we're going to wrap it up this week. Y'all have a safe week out there. Rain or shine, you need to book your tee time at one of your local military golf courses. And if you haven't been on a military golf course, call the pro shop, get sponsored on if you don't have a valid ID. We'd love to have you experience what military golf is all about.
Amen.
Until next week, folks, you do what it takes to keep yourself safe. I'm Dave Roberts.
Rudy Jay.
This is the Air Force Golf Show, where we change lives one swing at a time.